Hello and a very good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Mosby. Thank you for joining us this Friday. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And I tell you what, it's a really exciting day today because not only are we continuing our event, our Taste of the Next Level event, which I'll tell you more about a little bit later on, but we bring you a brand new show, the first of what is going to be many craft-alongs, and this show is going to do exactly what it says on the tin. We are going to be crafting along with you. You are going to be crafting along with us. And as I say, over the weeks and months to come, hopefully we'll be doing lots more of these, giving you the heads up so you can get all the bits and pieces that you need together from various collections to craft along with us and step by step. And what I want to stress with this show, it is going to be filled full of tips and techniques, hints and tips. And the great thing is we're going to go at a nice slow pace for you. You know, sometimes when we're trying to get so much into a show, we'll be like, oh, this is how you do this, but here's one I made earlier. We're going to be none of that today. We're going to be going through it step by step. So we're going to go over to Craig and say hello, because I know he is as excited as I am about this. But I think I've summed that up quite nicely, right? So you're going to go along at sort of a normal crafty pace in this show, aren't you?
Absolutely, I really am. So certainly kickstarting what we're going to do. It's the very first demo that we're going to do is exactly as Ben just says. We're going to go at a nice pace. You'll see a little bit more information you'll have seen all over on social media the last couple of days, but it's all about the first demo. We're going to take our time. I've got my elements at the side of me. I've got nothing cut, nothing die cut, nothing pre-prepped. We're going to do it together, right from card blank all the way up to the little bits of detail on the end. So it's going to be fun couple of hours as well, but it is jam-packed full still with 2 hours to go.
It is going to be brilliant, and it's not just us, of course. We want you to be crafting along with us at home, and I'll be asking for your pictures in just a little bit. But delighted to say that there's 4 of us on the show today. Quick wave from our 2 special guests, Susan in California and Gail in Texas. Give us a wave!
Hello!
Whoop, whoop. There we go. Lovely Susan and Gail. We are going to be joining them through the show, and they're going to be crafting along as we go, and we'll be going back to them, see how they're getting on, and seeing their makes at the end of the show as well. So it's really exciting. As I say, if you want to join along with us too, we'll be asking for all of your pictures. So studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, and you'll be able to send in your pictures as to how you're getting along. Maybe you can send in your telfies and finished projects as well. We definitely want to see those. Studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. This first craft along is all about the Nature's Garden Peacock collection. I'm going to go through the deal for you because the thing is, we've given you a bit of fair warning with this, so I know a lot of you will be crafting along, but there may be some people out there going, well, hang on a minute, I haven't got this collection. We'll talk about the collection in just a few moments' time and how you can get your hands on it, but before we do that, let's see the card that you're going to be crafting along with us, and let's find out from Craig exactly what we need. So Craig, what are we going to be making?
So this is the card we are going to be making that I designed myself from scratch. We are going to start simply by creating our card blank with our white smooth stamping card. I'm going to go through all the elements that you will need just shortly. But what we've got in this one here is to show you how you can do your mats and layers. A couple of different ways that we can do them. I know sometimes that's an issue some people have. I'm going to step you through them. What we're going to do is we're going to step you through the embossing. Some people also have a bit of issues with the gilding waxes, so we're going to step you through that one, you know, kind of like the pressure. But then what we're going to do is we're going to finish it off with that little bit of decoration from all the way right from the beginning. When I say the card blank, we're going to make the card blank from our white smooth stamping card. And as we can see, this is what the end result is going to be once you've finished crafting along with myself. So here we go. So what we're going to show you as well, we've got a list of things that you're going to need to make this card.
Here we go. Here comes the list then. So you take us through everything that we've got here, Craig. So it's well, hopefully, as I say, a lot of people already have all of these bits and pieces as they come up onto the screen. The good thing is, though, as well, just whilst we wait for the details to come up, if you haven't yet got all these goodies, as I say, I'm going to give you a terrific deal on this in just a second, so you can do that. But take us through what we need, Craig.
So to make the actual concept and the decoration of the card, you are going to need your 6x6 embossing folder, plumage panel, which is within the set we've got today, included the feather corner die and also the Word of Inspiration stamp set. But then what you're going to use to make the card too is your Pacific Centura Pearl Royal Blue Glitter card.
Is that specifically the Pacific?
It is.
Oh, good.
It is. Going to need our 8x8 texture cardstock. Now we're only going to need one colour from that, but we did want to make it a bit easier for you, so that's why we're just going to bring in that bundle. We've got our white smooth stamping card and also some gold gilding waxes.
There we go. So all of the goodies there and some other things which you might need as well. So these are kind of added extras, right?
Absolutely. So a few of them obviously you will need to actually cut the layers, but an extra few bits and pieces that you may need just to finish decoration. So here we go. So what you might also use is your small guillotine. Or, you know, if you don't have that, you could use your large one or a paper trimmer or something like that. This is just additional elements that I've used. Small guillotine, our stitched edged oval die, small stamping platform, or it could be any size you've got. 3D foam pads, of course. I've also used a combination of dotted tape runner, straight tape runner, gold gems, and also either an alcohol proof or quick dry noir black. Doesn't matter which one, we're not doing colouring with the ink, it's just to get the sentiment. So that's the additional elements that you will need if you want to follow along exactly as to what I've created.
There we go. So Craig is going to get ready. I know Susan and Gail are limbering up as well. They're getting ready. Really excited about this. But here's the brilliant thing, right? If you have already got this kit and you've got everything that we've just shown, you can now craft along with this show, and we're going to go at a nice steady pace. That's the point. However, if you haven't yet got this collection, you're saying, well, I want to be able to craft along. The brilliant thing is this video, you'll be able to come back to time and time again. So you'll be able to craft along whenever you like. And the great thing about this collection, the deal is amazing. It is the best ever price that we've done it for currently. So it's a great time to get it, and it's also during our Taste of the Next Level event. Again, if you've not heard about that, this weekend we're bumping you up an extra 5%. So basically, if you are currently, let's say you're a silver member and you're getting 10% off the amount you're seeing on screen here, for this weekend you're a gold member, up to 15% off. Gold becomes platinum, and platinum members, not 20% this weekend, 25% off the price that you see on screen. It's giving you a little bit of a taste as to what you can expect to see from the various levels of Club Inspire. If you're brand new to us, if you shop for the first time, you will automatically get a 25% discount as well, plus your 250 points to get you into the first bracket of our Club Inspire. So let's very quickly take you through this complete collection. So for those of you who haven't yet got it, you know what to expect and what you're going to be able to get when you get this back. These are available individually, these elements, but I would say go for the bundle because the price is phenomenal, and it is one of my absolute favourite collections. So within this collection, you have got your pretty plumage stamp, absolutely gorgeous. The level of detail that you have got in these stamps are absolutely amazing. You've got the gorgeous peacock standing proud, you've got the gorgeous peacock corner stamp, and then all of these other additional elements, including thank you, sending happy thoughts, and today is all about you. Next up, you've got this gorgeous proud peacock die. Again, look at all of the detail that you've got in that beautiful die, which I just think really makes this collection stand out. So much detailing in the tail there. That is included within this collection. Also, you're going to get a whole host of stamps as well. Words of inspiration. Of course, these are perfect to use with this collection, but actually words and sentiments that you can use with loads of other collections that you've got. Things like happy birthday, proud, incredible, you are incredible, have a happy birthday. You've got fabulous in there, beautiful, you make me so proud, friend, and many more included. Next up is the Builder Peacock. It's actually called Proud as a Peacock, but for me, this is the Builder Peacock set, because that's exactly what you've got the ability to do. All the stamps and dies to be able to stamp out your image, then cut out your image and build up your own fabulous peacock. Again, some super artwork there and some gorgeous sentiments to go with it. Love that sort of flourishing frame stamp you've got there too. Next up, talking about frames, how gorgeous is this? Your flourishing frame die. I mean, that on its own is just an absolute winner, isn't it? Perfect with this collection, but if you ever need an extravagant, beautiful frame with loads of flourishes, then that is one you're gonna absolutely be turning to. Next up, it's such a huge collection. These feathers are amazing. Take a look at, once you've die cut these, the detail that you've got. And I think I said, whenever this was last on, don't see a lot of feathers in crafting. We see sort of butterflies and we see, bumblebees and all these sort of things, but feathers and flowers, of course, as well. But feathers, not often, and it's certainly feathers that look as glorious as this. You're getting those 4 dies in the collection. This next element is one element that you're going to be using in our craft along, the feathered corner die. Again, just stunning, isn't it? Nice big size as well, this one, with plenty of detailing within that die. Then we've got dies, we've got stamps, and yes, we have got embossing folders as well. This plumage panel is another one you're going to be seeing Craig using over the course of this craft along. Again, so much detailing, and of course the detailing on there is that eye within the feather of that gorgeous peacock. Love that. And then if that wasn't enough, here's the pièce de résistance. Are you kidding me? This 3D embossing folder is quite simply amazing. And of course, with that, the fact that it's a 3D embossing folder, you've got sort of those peaks and troughs, haven't you, within the folder itself, which gives you that real kind of in-your-face feel. And I love this, just on the black cardstock. Really using the metallic elements there, the gilding wax, to make this pop out. Just gorgeous. $53.89 or $71.85 if you want to go for this. It's the lowest ever price that we've done it for, so it's a brilliant day to get it. And we've got our Taste of the Next Level event, so if you're platinum, you can take another 25% off that. £40, 42 is the deal, or $53.89 if you're shopping with us in the States. It's a brilliant day to get it. And also, whilst you're there, you may as well treat yourself to the cardstock, because this cardstock has been kind of specifically put together for this collection. It works brilliantly, actually. Within this, you're going to get 4 lots of your cardstock kit. So you've got your beautiful glitter cardstock in your royal blue. You're then also going to get 10 sheets of each of your Centura pearl. So your fuchsia, your chartreuse, and you've also got your Pacific as well. I nearly said it wrong then. I'll have a good flick through that for you a little bit later on, but the deal on that is phenomenal. £9 or $13 is the deal on that. So you're saving 30%. Take another 25% off that. £6.75 if you're a platinum member, or $9.75 if you're platinum and you're shopping with us in the States. Wow. Now, of course, we are going to be getting crafting in just a few moments' time. As I've said, this is going to be really kind of like slowed down so you can craft along with us. And also, it will give you time to send in your pictures, because we want to see how your crafting is going with this collection. Send us your Telfies, send us your finished projects as well, so we can do... What I'd quite like to do is a little montage at the end would be nice, wouldn't it? So we can see everybody's makes, everybody's cards, and then hopefully we'll get lots of pictures sent in. Studio at crafterscompanion.co.uk. So send those pictures in as we go. Right, I'm pretty much ready. Let's just check and see if our 2 guests are ready to go. So Susan, first of all, in California, are you ready and raring to go?
I'm ready.
Absolutely brilliant. And Gail in Texas, are you ready and raring?
I was born ready.
I love this. Positivity straight off the bat. All right, we're going to be checking in with Susan and Gail as we go, but let's get started. Susan and Gail are ready, you're ready, I'm ready, so let's go over to the man himself and see where we start with this. Craig, what are we doing?
Rightio. So we're going to kickstart it off by card blank. We all need a card blank. Now with obviously at Crafter's Companion, we can make envelopes any shape and sizes with our Ultimate Pro. So therefore what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can make your own card blank, 7x7, but using a white stamping card. So what we're going to do to start with is, you'll have noticed with the small guillotine, if that's what you're using, it only goes up to 6 inches.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do with this one, and it's on purpose, is to show you how you can then also still create your card blanks, get the right measurement, but using a pencil and maybe a ruler or a craft knife, or even your craft ruler. So what I'm going to do is, I've got my white stamping card here, and simply with a pencil or maybe a little bit of a pen mark or something, I'm going to come down onto my glass mat just here. Now I'm not sure if we can see. What I'm going to do is I will just move this up here. So there we go, we can see that. I'm just popping it in right to the bottom left hand corner, and I'm going to make a mark at 7 inches. And I'm going to make a mark also at 7 inches up here. So this is what's given us our 7x7. I'm going to do that twice on this one. So let's do it again on this one. And we can do the 7 inch mark, 7-inch mark here. And the reason I wanted to do this, Ben, is I know when I do my mats and layers, a lot of the time I show you how to do it on the guillotine, but sometimes not everyone's got the guillotine or a paper trimmer, so therefore it's nice just to show you how you can use a pencil and a ruler or your glass mat or something along those lines. What I can do then, I'm popping it into my small guillotine, and where my pencil mark is, right here where my finger is, I'm going to pop this along the metal base here, and I've got it so that it's pressed nicely up along the top, so that gives us our straight edge. Cut, turn that one around, we've got our pencil mark here, and we're going to bring that right up into our metal line, just where we can see just my finger here, pinky into there. And we're going to cut 7 by 7. We're then going to do exactly the same on this one here, and we're going to come along into the 7-inch mark, cut, and we're going to do the 7-inch mark here as well.
Okay.
And cut. If you are using your large guillotine, don't forget that the arm extends, so obviously you could be using the bigger measurements there. Now what you can do, and I purposely didn't bring in a scoreboard tool for this one because within the guillotine, the small one that I suggest, you've got your scoring element. So what I'm going to do on this one here is just keeping this pressed up along the side at the top here. What I'm going to do is you can make this rim bit at the top, you know, as depth or as thick as you want. What I'm going to do, just so that you can see it a lot clearer, I'm going to score at 1.5 inches, Ben. So I'm going to score at 1.5 inches. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that one. Now, that is quite thick. You might maybe only want to do 1/2 inch because of what I'm away to show you. What I'm then going to do is let's bring in our tape runner. And I'm going to use just our straight edge tape runner. I'm going to pop our tape along the top, as like that one. We're going to match these ones up right on top of each other. Yeah. And then I'm going to press. Now that has given us now our 7 by 7 card blank that we are good to go. Brilliant. And as I say, this is quite thick on the back, so I'll turn it that way. You've got quite a bit of height there, so you absolutely maybe want to only score at 1/2 inch, but the reason I've done it with that depth is it's more visible for you to see at home. Okay. You can change the depth if you want. Doing our mats and layers now, and what we're going to do is we're still going to carry on along the lines of our glass mat. So I'm going to bring in a royal blue. This is our glitter card. This is absolutely lush, gorgeous. It really, really is. So following exactly the same lines a moment ago, although I'm doing it on my glass mat, I'm still like to do my mats and layers at 1/4 inch increments. So therefore, our white card blank was 7 by 7. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to bring my finished sample in for you to see up above. You see how I still like to have a good white rim all the way around. I like that frame that we can see here. So therefore, what I'm going to do is if I bring in my glitter card, going back down into our glass cutting mat, into the corner of the zeros, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come along to 6 3/4. I'm going to do a little mark, and it could be a pen mark. You might want to do a little snip with the scissors. That's up to yourself.
So it's always a 1/4 inch for your matting and layering?
Yeah, that's what I like to do. It's not set in stone. You might want to have different depths of your mats and layers. I like to do 1/4 inch increments. Okay. So I've gone 6 3/4 and 6 3/4. So what we can do now is bring in our guillotine. And like we done with our white layer, I'm going to go to my pencil mark. It might be harder for you to see on screen. You'll see your own mark. I'm going to bring that along and we're going to cut that with the guillotine. Cut. We're going to turn that one around and I'm going to match up my pencil line into the top, right along to the cutting arm and cut. This has now given us our 6 3/4. So if I bring that one in, that gives us our perfect mat and layer. Brilliant. So then what we can do to do our next mat and layer, and once again, I specifically wanted to do lots of mats and layers, not only because I like to do them, but you ask me a lot, how do you do your mats and layer? This is the perfect opportunity to answer a lot of these questions that you ask at home, and this is why that I wanted to do my mats and layers. So we're bringing in now our Centura Pearl, and I want to quickly say as well, Ben, our Centura Pearl packs on their own for 10 sheets, you can easily pay $3.99 for just the one pack of 10 sheets. That bundle It's just unbelievably incredible to have in your crafty
Yeah, the
stash.
D on that is better than the multi-buy that you can get on the website.
Yeah.
So absolutely go for that. And also, we specifically kind of put the colours together, which will work really well with this particular collection.
Absolutely. So now that we have done our 6 3/4, we're going to come down another 1/4 of an inch. So therefore, we're going to come to 6.5 inches. Exactly the same as I've been doing, into the corner of our glass mat. And what we're going to do is we're going to come along into 6.5 inches, and we can put our pencil mark, and we're going to come up to the top and do 6.5 that we can see here. What we're then going to do, let's bring in our guillotine once again.
How many mats and layers are that sort of the optimum number? I mean, do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I guess you could go too far with it, couldn't you?
You know, you can do it. You know, there is obviously that saying is sometimes there is too much.
Yeah.
And yes, there can be. It's also one of those, like a lot in crafting, personal preference. You know, you may like to only have maybe one mat and layer. You might not want any of them. Have a look at your mats and layers. I tend to do at least 3.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, because I'll show you in a second, is we're going to incorporate our embossed cardstock in a moment. So we've got our 7x7, 6 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then we've got our 6.5 by 6.5. And once we've attached that with our adhesive, that's given us our perfect mats and layers that we can see here. So what I'm going to do, before we assemble that, let's just move that one out of the way for the time being. Bringing in now your 8x8 texture cardstock that I also popped onto kind of like your little list. What we're going to do, all that we need is just one sheet of this. It's kind of like the evergreen, this deep green that we've got in this one. And I felt that it worked really, really well with obviously the Peacock and the Nature Garden collection. So for this one, what we're then going to do is, I'm going to bring this now and I'm going to cut this down to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. I've showed you how you could do it onto the glass cutting mat. Let's now go on to our guillotine, because obviously now, because the guillotine's up to 6 inches, we can do anything smaller than 6 inches.
Got you.
So I'm going to bring in my cardstock. The reason I'm doing 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 is because we're away to emboss it with our folder, which is 6x6.
Okay.
So it's just going to
So
give
it's a
you that
quarter
little
an inch
bit.
down from the side of the folder.
I
Got ya.
could have done it 6x6 because the folder is, but I want to have that embossed right to the absolute edge because it's going to show off the gilding waxes just that little bit better in a moment. So now going to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. If you're using the guillotine for your layers, all that I'm going to do is I'm going to come all the way along to our little emboss mark, or our little line, which is 5 3/4, which is where my little pencil mark is. There we go, perfect. Thank you, Charlotte and Johnny. So I'm going up to that mark there. So if I pop my cardstock here, we're then going to cut that one. We're then going to turn that one around. We're going to go back to 5 3/4, and we're cutting, making sure we're pressed right up the top of our guillotine and press. Now this has given us our 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. What we can then do is now let's bring in our embossing folder.
Okay.
Now this is nothing is standard about our embossing folders. They're
I know
all
what you're going to say, but this is a standard embossing folder.
But this is a standard embossing folder. What I mean by that is it's not a 3D one, but wait until you see the effect that you can get. So bringing in our cardstock that we've just used a minute ago, what I'm then going to do is I'm going to pop it into my folder. So I'm going to open it up. Now this side here is the raised area. So what that means is when you run it through, all that detail is going to be pushed upwards. So I'm going to pop my cardstock on so I've got that texture effect on the top. And the reason, again, there's lots of reasons behind why I've done all these measurements. 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 means I'm going to get that perfect edge to edge emboss all the way around. So then I can close that one, and then I'm going to bring in my plate. I'm using the Gemini for this one. So we're going to bring in our 2 cutting plates, and because this is our standard embossing folder, I'm going to incorporate my metal shim. Not essential, but it gives you that little bit more in-depth embossing when it comes to the folder. So what we can do, bringing in our glass cutting mat, we can pop our folder on into place. I'm then going to bring in my metal shim. I'm then going to bring in our top plate, and we're going to feed that one through. that's going to go through, and as you can see, it will emboss it by the time that it comes out. If you do have maybe the large Gemini, maybe the MIDI, you still do exactly the same, but obviously just follow the plate combination. Bringing this one in, so if I lift this one up.
Oh, yes.
And there's two reasons as to why I chose this cardstock. So that one, because it's going to be great when we use the gilding wax in a minute, but also with this cardstock, you could leave it like this. See how you get a bit of a white work? You get a bit of a white work that you can see here. So if you want to leave it like that, then you can do. So what I'm going to do just for the time being, Ben, we can bring this one in. Now, another question I get asked a lot is they'll say, sometimes, Craig, you do really, really thin mats and layers. So now I'm going to show you how I do them ones. Bringing back in our guillotine. So if we bring this back in, so you'll see we are still at 5 3/4 and 5 3/4. Bringing in another piece of our glitter cardstock. This time I'm going to cut 1/4 inch higher to 6 inches. So we can bring this one in. So we're going to feed this up. We're going to bring it to the 6 inch mark and we're going to cut. We're going to turn it around and we're going to cut. If I bring this in, you're going to see we're going to have that perfect 1/4 inch mat and layer all the way around.
Yes.
But Ben, I want it a bit thinner.
Do you?
I want it a bit thinner on this occasion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my glitter card again. And then what I like to do is I just do a couple of millimeters at a time. Now, Leanne likes to say a fly's eyelash.
A fly's eyelash, yes.
She likes it. So I do a little bit, little and often. So what I'm going to do is, you know, really maybe like 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter at a time. So I'm going to do this one bit so you can kind of get a gauge. So where is my little strand? So that's all that I've taken at the moment.
Wow.
So a couple of millimeters there.
It's definitely worth getting a guillotine if you haven't got one, isn't it?
It is.
For this precision.
Absolutely. For this absolute precision. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this back in. And you'll see, actually, do you know something? I'm quite happy with that layer. We've got just enough. If I bring in my white cardstock, we've got just enough of a blue matte layer. So you can still see it, but it's really quite fine as you work all the way around.
Yeah.
If you want to leave it at 1/4 inch, you absolutely can. But when I get asked question as to, Craig, how do you do your really thin mats and layers when you do them, that is how we do them.
Good to know.
So I think, will we stick this bit together, Ben, and then we'll jump across to you for a moment or two?
Yeah, absolutely. Just one quick question
go for
before
it.
you stick, because this is relevant to what you're just doing. Anne Worsley on Facebook says, if you want to save on card, could you cut out the middle?
You absolutely can. What I didn't want to do on this one, anyone that is maybe a beginner crafter or just starting along on their journey, I didn't want to confuse any new crafters as to, well, how do I gut the centre? Do I use my craft knife? Do I use a ruler? So that's something in the future we can look onto. If you are more experienced, if you want to gut out the cardstock, you absolutely can. I just wanted to keep it as simple as I can, but get the most effective image by the end of it. So that's why the only reason I've not got the centres out the card.
Brilliant stuff. Well, we will let you crack on. Loads of people loving this already. Deborah's in South Louisiana. Treasure Heart says, good morning, everyone. Who's excited for this craft along? Me. Linda's in from Maryland. Ange from Northern Indiana. And loads of you saying how much you're enjoying this. Christiana from USA saying, got this bundle, can't wait to learn more skills and ideas. Mary Pat saying, I own this lovely collection. It's absolutely gorgeous. And Tiffany Rouse on YouTube saying, good morning from USA, Georgia. Loved Craig's new intro song. It makes him a rock star crafter. It was brilliant. And lots of you actually commenting on the pace of the show, which is what we wanted to know. Mary Pat saying, I really like the pace Craig is using during this craft along. And lots of other people kind of going along that line as well. Jean just saying, I always have problems with plate combinations. Thank you for going slow. Yeah, let us know on the kind of pace. If you're happy with this, if you want us to go a little bit faster, I kind of feel we're going at a nice pace. It's nice to see like the card blanks being made, isn't it? It's nice to see all of the matting and layering and just taking time to see all the measurements and how Craig does it. So hopefully you are learning a lot as we go. Right, let's see where we are. Next, Craig, what we're going to be doing?
So what we're going to do at the moment is let's use our gilded waxes. So on that list I gave you, I just put on gold. It's entirely up to you if you want to use the king gold or maybe the antique or maybe the Renaissance. That's up to you. But I just feel with the nature garden and the peacock, the gold works really well with all of these green and blue tones. So what we can do on this one here is popping it onto my glass mat once again. If you've got a non-stick craft mat you want to use, you can do. But we've got our cardstock that's nicely embossed. So one of the other questions I get asked quite a lot, not just myself, and no others on the team here get asked, sometimes you have issues with the gilding waxes and are you putting on too much, too little, how do you apply it? So I thought this time as well, because it's the perfect opportunity with Craft Along, we can just take our time and show you how I like to do it. Dabbing our finger into our gilding waxes here, so I've used the gold one. You could, if you wanted to, you can use our blending tool. However, you will get the perfect application by using your finger.
Right.
You will get that. And I do believe it's, obviously the smoothness of your finger, the moisture in your finger, it helps to give you that little bit of manoeuvrability with the wax.
And I suppose using it straight off your finger, you've got more control of the pressure, haven't you?
You do. You've got more control when it comes to applying it. What I'm going to do as well, can you see how my card is just buckled slightly with the embossing? So all that I'm going to do is I'm going to just roll that back and forward slightly, just so that it flattens it out that little bit more, and then it's a flatter surface to put our gilding wax on. So I've got my gilding wax onto my finger. I'm going to dab some of the excess off. Now I'm laying my finger, it's flat, it's completely flat at a straight angle, and I'm going to go lightly on top of my cardstock. And it's one of those things, we say it time and time again in life, but you can always add, but you can't take off.
It looks like you're barely touching that.
Barely touching it.
It looks like you've got a magic gold finger.
Yeah, and I'm just doing my magic trick. Yeah. We're working our way round.
Gold finger.
Yeah, that's what it's like. You know, you just want to burst into song, don't you? But I'm doing as well, what you'll notice, see how it's kind of automatic I do it. I'm rounding my finger, I'm not actually touching it. It's kind of like I'm priming it to actually go onto my card. So then I'm lowering my finger and I'm working my way. Let's take that little bit of cardstock, let's just dab a little bit extra. So I'm going round and round, and then it's kind of like a plane's landing. You know, you can just see it starting to come into land.
Yeah.
So I'm working my way round. So again, going back to what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some of this excess into here so you can see it better. But once again, I'm going to go round and then I'm going to go down, and then it's getting in contact with the cardstock.
I take your tip, what you said a few moments ago, is the lighter the better, because that sticks in my mind. You can always add more, can't you? You know,
cannot
when
take
you go for
it
a
off.
haircut, you know, you're not quite sure how much to have off, then always go for a little less, because you can't stick it back on again.
So you can, you absolutely can, and the good thing is, certainly when it comes to the gilding wax, is because it can look spectacular if you want to go a bit heavy-handed, and we will do that in a moment. But once again, I'm always dabbing that little bit excess onto my finger, and I'm always keeping this finger straight. This is how I find it easier to apply.
And I know we had a question earlier on about the gilding waxes, you know, saying do they dry? And they obviously do. Do these dry sort of fairly quickly, or do you have to apply any heat to them or anything like that?
You don't need to do anything whatsoever. They pretty much, certainly on a porous surface, like with cardstock, it's going to dry pretty much instantly.
Okay.
And you can get going with the next part of whatever crafting that you're doing. So if I'm going to work my way around, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way in. And did you notice there, when I went to cover that centre bit, if you're doing inks and you're blending tool, we tend to start off the card and we get into the middle. I went direct, and it's about the pressure. Because we're going light, we can go direct into the middle, and if anything, you would actually, by looking at that now, you would look as though we've just done a continuous strip of the gilding wax. But what I'm going to do at this point here, around the edges, Ben, I'm going to work my way around, and I'm going a little bit more heavy-handed, just around the edges. I'm going to work all the way round, and it's going to kind of give you a bit of a frame or a border, and you'll see the difference in a moment once I've done all 4 edges.
Just lots of love coming in for the pace of the show, by the way. Jeffrey just saying the pace is just right. Melissa saying, I love this. This is how masterclasses should be. This is a craft along, not a masterclass. Had it like Yoda then, didn't I? This is a craft along. Maureen saying, yes, the pace is great. And Diane on Facebook saying, loving this pace, easy to follow. Few of you just asking as well about the fact, will this show be repeated? Will I be able to see it again? As per usual with all of our shows, you'll be able to watch us back, of course, on Facebook. YouTube's the place to go, I truly believe, though, because you can subscribe to us on YouTube and then you can save all of your favourite shows. So even if you can't craft along at the minute because you haven't got this collection yet, get it today because it's on the best ever price we've done it for, and it's on the Taste of the Next Level event. And then, of course, you can then craft along in the future, which is perfect. Look at this.
That's like a really old style wallpaper, isn't it? You know, when you've got that embossed within the papers. And we've got here, very regal on this one.
Yeah.
So we've got that one here. Now, I chose to use it on our texture, but you could have done this onto the Centura Pearl if you wanted to, or any of the other cardstocks you may want to use. As I say, we've given you these as an idea, as a step-by-step, but you might want to change the colours. It's up to yourself, but it's a good way to do a kind of a craft along. What I have done, now I didn't put this on the list because I didn't intend to clean it, but just in case you've got this as an extra, maybe a little bit of a cleaner, when it comes to gilding wax, I'm just putting my adhesive cleaner, my stick away. If for you guys stateside, we covered this on Wake Up Call this morning, if you have issues getting any of our adhesive sprays, when it comes to taking things off like your gilding waxes, if you've got a nail varnish remover or anything that's alcohol based, you'll be able to use that, and that's going to be a good alternative until, fingers crossed, sometime soon you can get some of our stick away and stick a spray range. But we've got that one off. And then what we're going to do now is let's bring in our cardstock. Now, this is the one and only bit that I didn't put onto the show because it slipped my mind.
Oh.
However, it is something that I know if you don't have wet glue at home as a crafter, then you're just blowing my mind because I think every crafter has got some kind of wet glue. Whether it is your tacky glue. Now, you may have the all-purpose glue. Go and use that instead if you want to. You may have our glue gel. Use that instead. We're just not going to use it for height. The reason being, I am going to use my tape runner as well. So we're going to go around the back of what we've just done with our embossed and gilding wax. And the reason I'm going to go on with my tape runner first, so let's get that going. We're going to work all the way around. And what this is going to do, Ben, is because we're going to go onto glitter card, doesn't matter how incredible our tape runners are, glitter card, things are still going to peel away unless it's dried into the glitter grains. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring in my layer from what we've cut previously. So this was our top layer of our glitter card. We've got our tape runner. The tape runner is going to give us our instant grab. But what we're going to do as well, let's take our tacky glue. As I say, this could be all-purpose. Maybe this could be your glue gel if that's all that you've got. I'm going to work all the way around. And we're just going to cover that. I'm even going to go on top of my tape runner. And I'm going to go onto the back. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this on into place. The tape runner will give you that instant grab so you can carry on making your project, but the glue will then dry into all of the little grains of the glitter, and you know then it is going to be permanent afterwards. Look as well, I'm flattening that with my hand, other than what I've just spread on.
Yeah, it's dried
It's
already.
not coming off, it is dry, it's absolutely fine. So we're just going to press that little bit more. We've got that nice, fine matting layer. So I'm going to move that one to the side. Once again, we're going to do these two layers on top, and I'm going to do exactly the same. We're going on to glitter card. So let's bring in our tape runner for this one. We're going to go round. We're going to get these going with the adhesive tape runner. Gives you that initial grab. We're going to bring in our tacky glue, and we're going to add our adhesive all the way around here. We can pop this one into place. We're simply now layering up. We're layering up onto our layers, including now, we're going to go onto the back. This is going to go onto our card blank now, but because this is a pour surface onto our pour surface, what I'm going to do is I'm using my tape runner. You don't need to use a wet glue. You can if you want.
Yeah.
It's up to yourself. Let's bring in our card blank, And we're going to pop that on.
Just whilst you're layering up, Christina's asking, going back to the gilding wax, Christina's saying, I have very long fingernails. It's so tough to use the gilding wax. Any recommendations? So you've obviously said the best thing to do is use your fingers when you're doing it, but you can use your daubers and things like that, can you, if you want to?
You can do. Now, I don't have long fingernails, obviously.
Very nicely trimmed stuff.
Yes. Looking at the base of your finger, fingernail actually shouldn't be an issue, because if your fingernail is coming along the top, you're actually using kind of like the base of your finger. So even if you're maybe having trouble, maybe scraping a little bit out, maybe take a paintbrush or an old spoon or something, just to can a little bit onto your glass mat and then use the base of your finger.
Yeah.
I can't see why there'd be any reason for it to come onto your fingernail, but that's an alternative if you want. You can use a blending tool if you want, but you will get a much, much better application by using your finger.
Well, you could just cut your finger for the one, cut your fingernail for the one finger that you use.
Well, that's what I do with this finger. I did cut my fingernails last night, but this one I usually leave longer because this has taken the backing off my foam pads.
Yeah. No word of a lie, I used to play the guitar at school, and when I was playing classical guitar, I used to have to leave the fingernails on my right hand long so you could pluck the strings. So you used to walk around with one hand with nails and the other hand trimmed. So,
absolutely brilliant.
That's the other idea, I suppose you could do.
So then what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next bit here. Now on this layer here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my foam pads. Now it could be any show that we do. I will always incorporate a foam pad somewhere.
Will you?
I will do, absolutely.
I don't think I've seen that before.
You've never seen that? No. Yeah, something that I've been doing quite new recently.
Yeah. New Year's resolution, use foam pads.
Use more of them.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Use more of them.
Use more. If in doubt, use more foam pads.
Yeah.
What you could do, of course, is you could be using your all-purpose. You could use your all-purpose glue for an actual flat matting layer, or you can even then use your glue gel as an alternative. So we're going to take this one off. This foam pad is 3 millimeters. So we saw
3 millimeters.
An unintentional song was a way to come out there.
Have you got a song for each foam pad that you got in your collection?
I've got these brand new musical foam pads. Every time you take the backing off, all got their own little song. That was what I was away to go on to, is these are 3 millimeters, you know. You can determine the depth if you want to, but these ones that I am using are 3 millimeters. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, I have to try and think of another song for a later show, what we can do.
Now. You have to do that every time now as well, because people will remember.
I'm going to have that every single time. Pressing that into place and into the centre. What I want to point out as well, what I've done, in case anyone's wondering, once we are finished, I'm going to tip it to the side. It is going to be a top fold card.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's going to sit with the top fold. So I'm going to then turn it around so you see how it's sitting. You can do it so it's kind of like a traditional style opening card if you want, but I do like to do a top fold card. What I'm just about to do at the moment, Ben, what I'm about to do now, you're actually going to have to repeat 4 times.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you once, and then what we can do is we're going to go back to you for a minute or two. While we go back to Ben, you, like me, we can cut all 4 layers. Just to show you, I've not got anything pre-cut. I am literally also going to be cutting while we go back to Ben. So what I'm going to explain to you is if you bring in the feathered corner, so this is our corner die, and this whole lot die cuts all out in one. So what we need to die cut this one twice within that Pacific Centura Pearl. So we're going to do that twice. So let's do it once together. So let's cut this one into place. So let's pop that one on. So we're going to cut it into our base plate. We're then going to do plastic shim, magnetic, and top cutting plate. So we can then move this one through. It's going to cut through. And then what we can do is we can get a bit of the glitter card ready to go, because we'll do 2 corners in the Centura Pearl, and we will do 2 corners into our glitter card. So let's remove this one. So what we can do now, I'm going to bring in a tool just to get rid of this excess cardstock that we can see here. What I am going to do as well, Ben, just quickly though, what I will do is I will start to cut a layer of the glitter, because what I want to do is I'm going to show you how, if you incorporate your metal shim, because it's glitter card, to get an even precise cut through the glitter card, use your metal shim. So what I'll do is I will do this one, and then what I'll do is I'll come back to you if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So bring this one in. So let's move these bits just now. So I'll move that out the way. So let's bring in our base cutting plate. We're going to bring in our actual metal shim here. And then what we're going to do is let's bring in our die once again. So we can pop this one on. And then we're going to run it through. So that's then going to give us that precision cut when it comes to glitter card. Any die cutting I do with glitter card, I'll also incorporate that metal shim. So we're going to go back to Ben for a moment. What I want you to do as well, but I'm away to do another one into that Centura pearl, and I will also do another one into our glitter card. So we're going to have 4 in total, 2 glitter and 2 Centura pearl.
Excellent stuff. Thank you, Craig. There's some questions coming in to do with adhesives, which we'll tackle in just a little while. But loads of you loving the show. Ingrid on Facebook saying, I want to know how Ben managed to find a shirt with the Peacock collection colours. Well, you know, this is the Peacock collection shirt. Just decided to get it out. And May on YouTube saying, wow, Craig, this idea looks like a home decor item. Beautiful. Lots of you asking as well about future craft alongs for collections and new collections. Let us know. Let us know what you want to see craft alongs for. Maybe previous collections or collections that you're looking forward to, that you're thinking of getting. Let us know what you want to see on these craft alongs, and we'll try and incorporate as many as we can. Now, don't forget to send in your pictures as well. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Let us know how you're getting on if you are crafting along with us, and at the end of the show, or the end of the craft along, we definitely want to see your makes as well, because we want to see exactly how you got on with this particular craft along. And talking about that, I think we're going to see how our 2 crafters are getting on. This is brilliant. We've got Susan, who's with us in California, and Gail, who's with us in Houston, Texas. Susan, hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm really good. I want to know what time it is there, because I have a feeling it's early.
It is 5:47 in the morning.
I mean, that is serious dedication, and we love that. And also, I must just say a big thank you, because I know you sent us loads of goodies over, didn't you? And those have just arrived in the last couple of days.
Yes, I did. I'm glad you got them. I was worried they weren't going to get there in time.
Yeah, we certainly did. I haven't opened mine yet. I know Craig has opened his.
Yes,
he's nodding, and I think Joe's opened his, but I think I'll save mine till a little bit later on. And you also joined me on my quiz, didn't you, just before Christmas?
I did. I actually had the top score.
Reigning quiz champion, so you'll have to defend your crown next weekend when we do our Valentine's.
I plan to.
How are you getting on though with the craft along? Are you enjoying things so far? Is the pace good for you?
The pace is really good, yes. It's easy to follow along, and Craig is explaining everything really well, so it's good.
And what about the collection as a whole, the Nature's Garden Peacock collection? Is it one of your favourites?
It is probably my second favorite, right after Rose Gold. So I love this collection. I've made several cards with it. It's all-purpose. You can use it for men. You can use it for women. So I love this collection.
Excellent. And do you get a lot of time to craft as well, or like sort of fitting it into your daily life? Do you find that you have a lot of spare time to craft along?
I try to be creative every day. I've challenged myself along with a friend of mine to create a card a day every day. And I'm on task for that. With all those Valentines, I've actually doubled my goal. So I'm at about 60 cards already for the year.
Wow. That is brilliant, seriously. And do you chat along with a lot of the crafters who watch us here on Crafters TV as well? Do you find there's a good community amongst all of those crafters too?
It's a fabulous community. I've made some really awesome friends. We actually craft together. We try to craft together once a month. We talk every day. We're always enabling each other to purchase more. So, that's a good thing.
I love that, enabling. Sarah always talks about that, doesn't it? The fact that we enable you guys to kind of make the purchases. Gail's obviously there crafting along as well in Houston, Texas. So let's say hello to Gail. I'm not very good with my time zones in the US. What's the time there in Texas?
It's 7:49. As Joe would say, I'm a central coaster.
Yes, Central Coaster. So a couple of hours difference. So you're fine then, absolutely. And how are you enjoying the craft along so far?
Oh, it's pretty good. I was really stoked that Craig asked me to join, and so I said, this is my one chance, so yes.
Oh, brilliant. It was lovely to have you there. It was quite funny, actually, because a little bit earlier on, when Craig was feeding his sandwiches through the machine, apparently there was a point where all three of you were synchronised, doing it exactly the same time. So we've got some synchronised crafting going on.
Wow.
How long have you been crafting for, Gail?
Oh, geez. More than 30 years, I guess, since I was little. My mom was into crocheting and knitting and tatting and embroidery and all that kind of stuff. So I just picked it up from her. Brilliant.
So obviously you've always had crafting in the blood. And
yes.
When did you find us here at Crafters TV? How long have you been watching for?
Oh, since the inception of it. But I was introduced to Crafters Companion in 2017 during a very difficult time in my life.
Yeah.
We were flooded.
Oh, okay.
So we were displaced for a bit, and my very first purchase was a Gemini machine, and we were staying at my sister's, and she said, "You cannot open the box. You cannot open the box. You cannot bring all your craft stuff into my house." And I'm thinking, no, but I need to open it.
And ever since then, you've just crafted and crafted and crafted. And you love this collection, obviously.
Yes, I do. My very favorite is the vintage lace, and this is the second one, my second most favorite collection. I just love the colors of it and how elegant and just, it's just so glorious.
Brilliant stuff. And do you get a lot of time to craft as well? Have you made 60 cards yet this year, like Susan?
No, I don't. But I do cut bits and pieces, and then I usually craft during the weekend.
Yes. Oh, brilliant stuff. Well, do you know what? It's great. Both of you, very happy and smiley characters. And I love the fact that obviously craft brings that smile to your face, and you obviously both love what you do. Can I also just say, for both of you, very tidy craft rooms I can see in the background there. I don't know whether you tidied specifically for the show, but I'm very impressed. Well done.
Can't see what's in front.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't say that, Susan. Shh, don't say that. Right.
Or to the side.
Very, very tidy craft rooms, sort of. Right, we're going to leave Susan and Gail to get crafting for now, because Craig has been busy over there. Isn't it great that we can take our craft into the other side of the world and craft along with the likes of Susan and Gail? And as I say, if you're crafting along with us as well, get those pictures in, please. We want to see, even if you're, we're not finished yet, but send us the pictures of your cards as you go, so then we can see that, and then we can see all the finished projects at the end as well. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. This is great, Craig, isn't it? Being able to chat to crafters over in America and craft along with them.
It is. And do you know what I'm laughing at as well?
Yeah.
There's under no circumstances would we be able to have planned what we've just done. And as you've come to me, I've just picked out my last bit and I'm ready to go.
Well,
we
Craig,
could not have planned that better, even if we tried.
It's because I'm a professional, you see, and I can monitor the situation. I can talk and monitor the chat at the same time, keep an eye on what you're doing, ready to throw back at exactly the right time.
It's exactly it. It's why you're a professional.
It was a fluke. But you're ready over there, which is good.
Ready to go. So now we will have our 4 corners. We will have 2 cut within our glitter card, and we will have 2 cut in with our Centura pearl that we can see up above in a moment. What we're going to do is a bit of a drop shadow now.
Okay.
So we're going to use 2 together and 2 together. This is where I like to use a combination of our tape as well as our wet glue. So I'm going to use my dotty tape runner for this one. Dotty tape runner is perfect for your intricate designs, such as these ones, because what happens is your adhesive will only go onto the areas that you need. So we can follow that all the way along, and I'm going to keep going down, and I'm going to keep going down, keep going down, keep going down, all the way down. And because we are going to go onto glitter card, once again, I am going to bring in my tacky glue. It could be your all-purpose, it could be your glue gel, but obviously without using the glue gel as a height element, just as a layering element. I'm not going to go over it all, because I don't feel as though I need to, but what I am going to do as well, I'm going to work my way around, and I'm going to go around the edges, And then what I'm going to do, Ben, is to help even it out slightly, many crafters will either dab the excess on the back of your hand. Doesn't matter how safe glues are, which ours are, do a skin test first if you were going to do that, just to make sure. I'm absolutely fine, so I'm going to show you what I mean and then I'll show you an alternative. So doing little dabs onto there, what I'm going to do is on the back of my hand, I'm going to dab that excess. What that's going to do is that's going to dab it and spread it throughout other parts of that one. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in my blue.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring it in. So I'm going to do it as if I'm layering it right over the top. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it down at an angle. So I'm going to bring it in. So we've literally got maybe about 1 millimeter showing all the way around. And I'm going to press. And because we've dabbed that glue all over, dotted tape runner will give you that instant hit of adhesive. And then that glue will dry into all of those little glitter granules. So we've now got a shadowed corner. And how effective is that? If you just want to use the blue on its own, or Pacific on its own, you can do, but it just works well if you do that bit of a shadow. So this time I'm going to do exactly the same.
All right. A couple of questions, just whilst you're doing that, to do with glue actually. Treasure Heart on YouTube, you're saying if you don't have tacky glue, could you use a spray adhesive?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely, you can do. Again, with it being the first one, Ben, I didn't want to go down the road of explaining all of the adhesives. I didn't want to cause confusion when that wasn't needed. Keeping in mind, Craft Along is going to be a reoccurring theme, so there is one next week. Keep your eyes peeled later on today into tomorrow for all the information that you need. But throughout each craft along, we'll kind of show you different ideas, techniques, or adhesives. So you know that you're going to learn a lot more going forward. And
just another question about the tacky glue, which Sharon has asked, saying, I tried using the tacky glue to glue stamping card onto Centura Pearl and the cardstock wrinkled. I thought you were supposed to use tacky glue onto Centura Pearl.
So tacky glue, you would use your tacky glue for Centura Pearl. You wouldn't necessarily use your all-purpose because of the I said reaction, it's not a bad reaction, but your alcohol within your all-purpose reacts with your Centura Pearl. The only thing I would say is when it comes to your tacky glue, make sure you use very, very little.
I was going to say, is that very too much glue that's sort of pooling into the cardstock?
Exactly, that is it. Sometimes you use too little glue, you think it's not enough, but there's a reason why it's called tacky glue, and that is why you need very, very little. But what I want to show you this time, alternative, if you don't want to do it on the back of your hands, or maybe you do have a reaction to glues, what you can then do, glass mat, or it could be your craft mat, dab it onto your glass mat. What happens, you will get that residue onto your glass mat, but it spreads it around the back, so we can then bring in our glitter again, and we're going to do exactly the same, and we're going to layer that one on. We're going to pull it in down towards the right hand side at an angle, so we're getting that drop shadow all the way around. Any excess glue we can take away. I'm going to press just to flatten it. Then this is now giving us our two corners that we can see here. And how elegant do they look?
They look great.
They look so, so elegant. So then what I'm going to do is let's just take either a wet wipe or a cloth. I'm going to take off that excess glue just so that we don't get sticky to the glass mat while we do the next bits. And then what I'll do, very similar to what we've just done a moment ago, is we're going to bring these ones back in. But if I then also, I'm going to bring this one in from up above so you can see, we're going to pop them in opposite corners. So it just shows, and you see how you can just get that hint of the blue coming through, and it bounces off that kind of evergreen with the gold really, really well. So what we can do now is do exactly the same for both. I'm going to use my dotty tape runner, and I'm going to use my wet glue at the same time.
All right, lots of lovely comments still coming in. Diana on YouTube, summing it all up really, just saying, hello from Connecticut, USA. Loving this new show. Can't wait to see more. Also, because if we don't have all the materials, I can get them and then come back to watch. Yes, it's exactly the point. You know, if you've already got these collections, we'll warn you in fair time that this is, you know, a craft along coming up with this particular collection. So if you've got it, you can get all the stuff out to craft along. But if you haven't, then these craft alongs will stay on YouTube and on Facebook, so you can come back to them and use them whenever you like. Melissa Hornewby on Facebook saying, exploding box craft along. Yes, all these suggestions are great. Let us know. Sarah Brown saying, oh, what about a character over the edge or a peekaboo collection? Would love to see that. Nicola just saying, going to add everything to my basket and craft along later. Honestly, Nicola, that is great shopping because, as we said, with the Peacock collection, the best price that we've done it for, just specifically for this craft along, so that everyone can then get it and then craft along at a later date. The craft along, says Ange Lim, is a super cool event. It's pretty good, this, isn't it? It's good. Laura saying, I hope they start doing these craft along shows more often. Laura, that's what we're doing. Keep your eyes peeled. There's more coming up. Even as soon as next week, we're doing more of these craft alongs. You will be seeing them a lot more in the Crafters TV schedule. Mary Navin on YouTube says, I'm new to card crafting and made my first order on CC yesterday. Well, Mary, welcome to the family. And let me just tell you, I know this from experience, it won't be your last purchase. It really, really won't. And Diana just saying, I'm glad that I found CC back in March. I've learned so much and love it. Wish I could purchase everything. Well, if you purchase one thing today, go for this Nature's Garden Peacock collection because it's at the best ever price. Craig looks like he's ready to show us something.
So all that I'd done before was I popped this one down to the bottom left-hand corner simply by sticking it in place. I'm going to do exactly the same with this next one. We're going to pop it to the top right-hand corner. But if you see, I've also left a layer, so you're still getting a bit of that golden emboss all the way round. So we're going to press. And just quickly, Ben, what I want to do is just obviously go back to something you said as well about the craft along.
Yeah.
I am very lucky. I do have the next one. What I want you to know as well is it's not just going to be me, it's going to be all of us. So you're going to get all of our takes. You'll get my ideas, you'll get Debbie's ideas, Jan's ideas. Over time, we're all taking turns. So that's what's going to be so good as well, getting all of our different takes, all the different collections.
What I love about this as well, because we were chatting beforehand actually saying, how long should we take over this? Should it be like 20 minutes, half an hour, ever? We're going at a really nice pace, and loads of you are saying that. We're an hour into it, and I just feel like, actually, do you know what? It doesn't matter. If we take another 10, 20 minutes, half an hour, it doesn't matter. You guys are loving the pace, loving the fact that you can follow and do it in real time. So, you know, if it takes another hour, that is fine by me, absolutely. But if it takes more than that, obviously, you know, that sort of goes over the end of the show and goes into my lunch break, which could be a problem, but I'm sure it won't. I'm sure it won't. Will it, Craig?
Oh, it'll be fine. But then as well, it's a gauge for us. So it lets us know, are we going too fast for you? Are we still going too slow for you? At least this one gives us a gauge for next week. Certainly, because I've got reading your comments as well in between, and I can see you're loving the pace, you're loving the fact that it's a craft along. So I think we've got it right.
Smashed it, Craig.
Smashed it. We don't have much more to do, so what we can do is I'm going to bring in that excess piece of our white stamping card that we used from doing our card blank. So I've taken a bit of that excess off. What I've also done is I've taken a piece of that excess glitter card that I've taken one of the corners on. We're going to bring in, what we're going to do is let's bring in our stitched edge nesting dies that we can see here. So what I have done is from the stitched edge oval nesting dies, I have used our die number. So going from the smallest one here, I've used die number 6. So we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I've used the next one up, which is number 7. So we can then use them. You might want to use your circles. You might want to use your squares. That's entirely up to you. I've given you the list so you can follow me exactly to the T if you want, or you might want to change it. Again, it's up to yourself. So what I'm going to do is we're going to bring in that largest oval, and we're going to do that into our glitter card.
Okay.
So we're going to pop that one on. Let's even just trim that down a little bit more. And then what we can do is we can bring in our white smooth stamping card here. We're going to trim this. And even although we've got our glitter card, what I'm going to do, Ben, is I'm still going to incorporate my metal shim because we've got the glitter, but I'm still going to put our white stamping card on. Although we're using the metal shim, still not going to be too much pressure, still going to cut fine. So don't think as though you have to do them separate, but you can if you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this one through taping it down, Ben, and then all that I'm going to do is just feed it into the Gemini.
All right, Susan and Gail still crafting along with us, of course, but loads of you get in touch saying how much you're loving the pace of the show, and we've got some pictures coming in as well. Don't forget, end of the show, we want to see your finished projects, but Terry is crafting along with us. Terry Anderson, brilliant stuff. Here we go. So we can see that you're up to the point that we were just at a few moments ago there, just on the kind of the corners, doing the drop shadowing there. So that's brilliant, Terry. Loving that. Look at Craig's little face.
That makes me feel so good. That makes it feel so good seeing that.
And Sue's got a little selfie there as well, crafting along. This is brilliant.
Brilliant.
Love that, Sue. There we go. This for me shows me that we have got the pace right, because actually you've got time to take a photo and send it in to us and then still craft along and not get behind. So this is absolutely brilliant. Any more photos, do get those in, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, and at the end, as I say, we want to see all of your finished makes. That'd be amazing to have a little collage towards the end of the show. Diane just saying, loving the pace and the glue ideas. Goody on YouTube saying, can we do an ultimate craft along? An attempt to do a more complex card. I mean, that's the other thing we could look at, later down the line, have like different levels of crafts along. So like having a beginner craft along or an advanced craft along. It's all kind of things that we're open to. Let us know your thoughts as well on the email address. Right.
Absolutely. So yeah, exciting times as to what we can be doing with the craft along. What we're going to do now is we've taken our layers that we've die cut when it comes to the oval. So we've got our white and we've got our glitter. So what we can do now is bringing in the stamp set that I've popped on that little bit of a shopping list for you. And we can then start to create our own little sentiment if you want. So what I'm going to do is have a fabulous day. So we can go have a, and then we can go fabulous here, and then we can bring in day. And I popped on the list, you can use your small stamping platform. If you only have the medium one, that's fine. You might only have the large one. It's absolutely fine. Again, it's just a bit of an element of product for you to use to do your stamping. So we can then bring in our layer. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to position my stamps onto here as, once again, as a guide. What it does is it enables me to get the spacing right when it comes to my stamping platform. So we can position them where I want.
Yeah.
So we're going to make these ones, so have a fabulous day, popping up where we want. And what I've also done on this occasion, Ben, is when it comes to stamping, our stamping mat is a brilliant product. However, not everyone might not have it. So therefore, I wanted to show you that as much as the stamping mat will give you an incredible stamped image, if you don't have it, you can still stamp. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. So I'm just lining that up. So I'm quite happy the way I've positioned it. So I'm going to bring in my stamping platform and I'm going to press. Now that's got my stamps exactly where I want them positioned wise. I'm going to bring in my quick dry. On the image that I supplied you, I used our alcohol proof. It doesn't matter. We're not adding colour to it. All that we want is the black. So some sort of black ink pad. You might want to change the colour if you want. It's up to you. Whether it's alcohol proof or quick dry, it doesn't matter. It's just to get the stamped impression. So we're going to stamp and we're going to stamp. And just until I'm happy enough with the coverage we've got, I'm going to bring in my layer once again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover until I'm quite happy that I've got it within the centre. And as you'll have seen, I've not got my stamping mat underneath. If you've got one, use it. If you don't worry. We'll still get a really good impression. But what we're going to do is we're going to press that one into place. I'm going to remove that. Now I've got my have a fabulous day in the perfect place as to where I need it.
Great.
Now what I'm going to do, if I pop this straight on here and here, this is going to look nice, but it's just a bit blah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It doesn't quite fit in, does it?
No, it's. Do you know what it's like? It's if it's shouting at you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's if it's saying like, have a fabulous day. It's not blending into the card.
What's it
Just
saying?
have a fabulous day. You want it to be like, have a fabulous day. You want it to blend in, subtle in. White stamping card, use your wax again, or your wax, use your gilding wax again. So it doesn't just have to be for your embossing or home decor or mixed media stamping card. You can be using it. So what we can do is bringing this back in, and we're going to do exactly the same as what we've done before. So on this one, what I'm doing, in case anyone wants to know, it is the Empire Gold.
Okay.
I didn't specify on the list which one because it is a personal preference as to if you wanted to use the King Gold, Empire Gold, maybe the Antique, it's up to yourself. If you're wanting to use the one I'm using, it is the King Gold. And dabbing onto my glass mat, so dabbing that excess that you can see here. And all that I'm doing, I'm now going to use my finger as if it is a blending tool. So I'm onto my glass mat. So my finger's actually on my glass mat, and I'm going to go circular motions, and I'm going to work my way around. So it's going to pick up all the way around, and I am coming in slightly to blend out into our cardstock, and I'm going to pick up a little bit more, and once again, we're going to blend in with our finger. We're going to work our way around, picking up this excess, and what happens is the die cut edge, as well as that slight emboss edge that you get, gives it a slight halo of an embossed oval. But then what happens, it's giving you kind of like a faux gold matting layer. I'm not going to come all the way in, I just want to go all the way around. We're going to blend that one in as well. Let's go over the top that little bit more. And then I'm happy enough with that. I'm going to take this excess off just so that I don't pop my finger in it. So we can take that away. So we can then see, in actual fact, you know, I am going to do it, there's this tiny, that's going to bug me. See how
What's going to bug you?
There's a little bit less there. See how it seems to be where my pinky is? See how there's a bit less?
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Crafters at home will know exactly what I mean by that. Will know exactly what I mean. I'm just going to fill that in slightly, that little bit more. There we go.
Susan and Gail are nodding apparently. So.
Yeah, see, know exactly what I mean. Now let's bring this one in. And what you'll do is you'll be able, now just look at that difference. You know, you've got rid of that harshness of the white. We're still getting that white. It's still giving you that focal point, but it's blending out into the glitter, into the backdrop. So what we can do is start to finish this off now.
Okay.
So we're going to bring in our tape runner. I'm using straight edge for this one. You could use dotty if you want. We're going on to glitter, so let's use a little bit more of our wet glue. And what we're going to do is we're going to work the way around. What I want to say as well is you don't have to use the tape runner if you don't want to. The reason I like to use the tape runner is it gives you that instant grab.
Yeah.
So you know that you could carry on working with your project instead of having to wait on the glue drying. We can move that into place because what happens is although the tape gets instant grab, it's not until you press. So the wet glue gives you time to maneuver it. Once I'm happy, I can press, tape runner grabs, and now I can move on to finishing it off. So what we can then do is let's bring in a couple more foam pads onto the back. We're going to snip this one here. Let's snip that one, and then we can do one little bit more. And then once again, I'm going to bring in the wet glue. And what I'm going to do with this, because we're going straight onto our gilding wax, your foam tape will still stick to it. It's going to stick to your Centura Pearl.
Yeah.
If you're ever in doubt, always pop on a bit of wet glue, because what happens is it dries into the fibres of the card. So even on foam pads, same idea as your tape runner. We're going to pop our glue on. So what happened, the foam pad gives the instant stick, and then the glue will dry into the card.
I was going to ask you what size the foam pad was then for a second, but I can't remember the tune that you sang. So
3 millimeters, but yeah, I can't remember the tune. Something like that, wasn't it? Something like that. Along those lines. And now what we can do is we can, that's it. That's the tune. Need to think of another one for later on as well as to what we can create tune-wise. Yeah. But someone's good at making up tunes, so we never know. We might find a good tune later on.
Yeah, we might do.
Now we get to finish it. We get to finish it by adding the decoration if you want. I'm using gold gems. Anyone you will ask is the hunky-dory ones. Usually we'll have them on the website. If they're not in stock at the moment, they will be coming back in, but you can be using any gems that you've got. You might want to use pearls, you might not want to use any, but what I am then going to do is let's pick a few of them, and even have a look in some of these areas. I'm going to double check against the card I've done as to where I positioned them. So let's bring in a few. So let's take a couple, and what I'm going to do is see how we're going to pop it into here. Your wet glue can always be your glue, so let's pop a little bit into there and there. Adhesives are usually, or our gems, sorry, are usually self-adhesive, but over time with heat or, you know, room temperatures, they can sometimes fall off. So it's always good to add a bit of wet glue. So let's do a tiny little dot there, and then there. You might have our little glue applicators. Then let's do one there.
Oh, here's a good question. Sorry, whilst you're sticking, Rhonda on Facebook has asked, reference the gilding wax. Do you need to polish the wax after applying it? Like sort of buff it a bit?
You can do. You can give it a little bit of a buffer if you want with maybe a microfiber cloth. I would tend to do that if I'm doing some kind of home decor. I wouldn't necessarily do it on cardstock. Some at home might choose to do it on cardstock. You know, there's not a right or a wrong. If I'm doing it onto wood or home decor, then yes, maybe I would use a bit of buffering, but it's not essential. But what we can do is let's bring in a couple of smaller ones. So let's pop a few of them on. So let's bring our gems in. So I'm using a pokey tool just to pick up. I think I'll pop that one there. Finishing it off, you can of course maybe add extra.
Yeah.
You might want to use a ribbon, but by this way it's following. Let's bring it, there's my gem here.
Safe to say, this craft log, just as you're popping those gems down, has been a hit. Sandra on YouTube is saying, I'm loving the programme. I've not been crafting along, but I feel the pace is good for me in future. Great concept for a programme. Loving this, says Susan Elliott. It's just at the right speed. Love that we have the crafters in the USA crafting as well, and they are doing great. Deborah Barmforth on Facebook saying, craft along is a great idea. Speed, explanation just right. Plus, it's a reminder of all our crafty stash that we've probably not used in a while. And then lots of love for this card, just seeing the finishing touches here. Jean says, lovely card. Diane saying, yes, gives it some depth, talking about just adding the gilding wax to the sentiment. Looks amazing, says Susan. I'm learning so much, says Kerry. And Karen says, that is such a beautiful card. It is. I mean, it is just stunning. And I love the fact, for me as well, the fact that we've seen it from start right through to finish, and all the kind of layers in between.
Yep, from card blank right to the gems. I'm going to pick up on something you just said a minute ago, Ben, because I never thought of. Some of you might at home be like, not sure how the craft along's going to work. Now that you've seen it, you know the pace, you've got the confidence now that you might then want to tune in next week and take part as well. So there we go, that's what craft along is all about, and hopefully you enjoy it. Certainly it looks like you absolutely have enjoyed doing the step-by-step.
Honestly, Craig, I think it's brilliant. I also think it's great for the fact that if you are new to this and you're wanting to get the collection, so we're doing this at the best ever price that we've done it at, $53.89 or $71.85, less 25% if you're platinum, of course, as well, because we've got our Taste of the Next Level event, £40.42 or $53.89. And then on top of that now, you've got yourself a free 80-minute craft along with Craig. That's all in with the price. I mean, you're not paying for it really, but do you know what I mean though? Like, if you were to go and get this from a store,
yes,
you'd get it home and then you'd be like, now what do I do? Now what do I do? But you get this now with this free craft along. And that's the other thing, producer Johnny's just going, you know what? Yeah, a lot of times you would have to pay for like craft tutorials, craft classes, but no, he does it just for the love of it. What's that? Send checks. And of course, yes, obviously watching us here on Crafters TV, you get the hashtag bants as well. Sometimes good bants, sometimes not so good, but bad bants. But usually when we're in the house, it's, you know, hashtag not too bad bants,
I know,
isn't it?
it's a bit different for us too, eh? We've really just toned it down that little bit more, you know, there's no jazz hands like usual, you know. Let's just wait and see till Craft Vault later on tonight, who knows, but it's nice.
We'll make up for it between 7 and 8, the usual. But I think it's quite nice sometimes just to take a step back, strip it right back, and let you concentrate on what we're doing, because we can, well, particularly me, I can be very off-putting sometimes, I know. But let us cross the pond and see how our two lovely crafters have been getting along. I think they might have finished. We're going to say hello first to Susan. How was that for you, Susan? Was that an enjoyable experience?
Yes, it was. It was almost like just taking an in-person class with Craig. So it was really good to have his tips and his techniques, and that slow pace was really good.
Excellent stuff. Have you managed to finish your project, or are you still just doing the finishing touches?
I'm probably going to put a couple more beads, but I've got my finished project.
Oh, wow.
That's brilliant. Craig, what do you reckon?
Absolutely phenomenal. And do you know what I love as well? Is you've taken the idea, but what you've done is you've changed that nesting die. You've done it to one that you want or changed it slightly, which is what it's all about. You can copy me exactly to what I do, or you can change certain elements. It's entirely up to you. I love that. Love it.
Thank you.
Excellent stuff. And you must have enjoyed it, Susan, because I'm not being funny. I know we all love to craft here, but getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I mean, you don't normally do that, do you, or do you?
Actually, I do. I get up at 4 so that I can prepare, because Mary and I craft along and make our card of the day during the first show. So this is the time that I'm usually making my card of the day. So this is my card of the day that I'll post later in my challenge and then post for everybody. So.
Well, excellent stuff. And yeah, we love that so much. And just for people perhaps who are tuning in for the first time, we're going to chat to Gail in just a few seconds there, and are watching Crafters TV for the first time. What do you love so much about Crafters TV and Crafters Companion?
I love the interactive, so it's like while you're doing the show that you're interacting with us that are at home. And so it is just a really wonderful, I'm not even going to say group or community, it's more a crafty family. So everybody is so supportive and just so wonderful, and they're great ideas, great tips. It's really been great for my mental health during lockdown. It's kept me sane, it's kept me upbeat. So it's just been wonderful all the way around.
Oh my goodness, that's so lovely to hear. So lovely to hear. And actually, do you know what? It's funny that Susan should mention that. This week just gone, I'm losing track of the days, here in the UK has been Children's Mental Health Week. And do you know what? The amount of emails and newsletters that I've got from my children's school who are saying, try this thing, try that thing, try the other thing. And I would say about 80% of the things that they're saying for the kids to try to help with their mental health, craft related. And I think that just goes to show just how great crafting is for your mental health, for your mindfulness as well, particularly during these times. It really is a super thing to get involved in, particularly when you've got collections like this to play with. Really love it. And don't forget, Susan and Gail have been enjoying crafting along with us over the course of the last hour and 20 minutes or so. You can craft along with this show again in the future, because all of these shows you can get again on YouTube, you'll be able to get again on Facebook. So if you're getting this for the first time today, you'll get this home, and then you'll have the craft along that you can come back to next week or next month or next year, whatever it might be. This craft along will stay here, and of course over the days, weeks and months to come, we'll add more craft alongs as we go, which is just brilliant. And there we go, we can hear Gail in the background as well now. Lovely, Gail. How did you get on with that, Gail? Was it all good?
Yes.
Excellent stuff.
Okay.
I know we just had a few problems with your mic there. I think you muted, then we muted, and you were muted and we unmuted. I don't know, but we can hear you now. We can hear you, we can see you. Gail, lovely to have you back. Did you enjoy the whole experience? Was it a good pace for you?
Yes, it was. It just got a bit hectic when I was die cutting for the corner panels.
Oh, okay. That's probably because I was chatting to you at that point, Gail. Didn't make it easy. To your left. To your left.
Can you see it?
There we go.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Fabulous.
I
What do you
changed
reckon?
the color. I really like the purple and the teal, but the pace was really good. But I got a little bit flustered when I need to cut the corner panels over here. But otherwise, it's a good pace. And I like the interaction with you and Craig and Susan and the team.
What do you reckon, Craig, to Gail's card?
That is, again, another gorgeous card. And on this occasion, what you've done is you've changed the colour of the glitter card. Goes to show how well that purple works. So again, I know I said it before, but the great thing with this is you can, if you've not got the confidence, if you're unsure, follow me step by step.
Okay.
If you're more experienced, if you've got obviously a lot more, crafty products you might have at home. You can then start to change them if you want. That's the great thing with Craft Along, and I've loved this first one.
I have. Gail, loved your card as well, just to say, fantastic. What does the rest of your Friday look like, Gail? Have you got some more crafting to do?
Yes, and a nap in my future.
A nap? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Hey, listen, to Susan and to Gail, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, if I was getting up at 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock to craft, I would definitely be going back to bed right now. But listen, it's been an absolute pleasure having you both with us. And yes, you can say you were the very first guests on Craft Along, and I know there'll be lots more to come. So I just want to say a big thank you to you, Susan, and a big thank you to you, Gail, as well, for crafting along with us. And hopefully you had a brilliant time.
Thank you. We enjoyed it.
Excellent. Thank you so much, guys. Absolutely brilliant. The lovely Susan there in California and Gail in Texas. That's how the Craft Along is going to work. That's how we're going to do it. It's so much fun, isn't it? So much fun. And the great thing is, as I say, the pace will be, I think, at the sort of pace that we're doing it. You know, if we've taken an hour and 20, that is absolutely fine. Let us know what you've thought of the show. Let us know what you'd like to see on the show. Let us know which ranges you want to see us, concentrate on. But just brilliant. Loads of lovely, lovely comments coming through here. Just before we talk about the set again, Diane saying, love the card, Craig. Love your colour combinations. Cindy saying, very classy. Elizabeth saying, really enjoyed the show. Picking up so many great tips. We'll be telling others to watch. Absolutely, share the love. Jeffrey saying, magnificent card. Loving the addition of the jewels. Beautiful card, Craig. Says Marisol. Deborah, awesome card, Craig. Have loved seeing this made from the beginning and all the stages in between. Thank you, loving this idea. And just a few more here. Let's read these. Maddie says, can I just say, I've been making a completely different card, but it's been so relaxing to craft along with others. And of course, Maddie, if you've got this collection, then yeah, you can come back and craft again. Love the show, says Laura May. The format is awesome. Awesome sauce. And being able to work along and ask questions is so awesome. Jean on Facebook, having the ability to craft along at a great pace is priceless to me. So thank you so much. Terry Toy Anderson, saw one of your cards, didn't we? This show has been fabulous, perfect on everything. And Ingrid Brookman on Facebook saying, had a wonderful time, thanks all. Well, I think it's safe to say it's been a hit, and I think we're going to have to do it again at some point in the future. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you for all your feedback. Let's just recap on this deal though for you, because it may well be that you've tuned in and you've gone, oh, I haven't got the Nature's Garden Peacock collection. Well, if you haven't, the first thing to stress is, the Craft Along will be there for you to watch back on your, on Facebook or YouTube, wherever it might be, whenever you want it. So you can craft along whenever you want. And this collection, it is one of my absolute faves. And actually, I don't think there's ever been a better time to buy, because it's at the best ever price we've done it for. And don't forget, this falls within our weekend of the Taste of a Next Level event. If you've not heard about this, basically we're bumping you up one level within Club Inspire for this weekend. So if you are a bronze member, currently receiving 5% off the price, you are now up to silver, getting 10%. If you're a silver member, you become a gold member. If you're gold, you become platinum. So do you see what I'm saying? If you're a platinum member, up to 20, well, not up to, you will get 25% off the price you're seeing on screen for this weekend. So it gives everyone a taste of what it's like being in the next level of Club Inspire. So take 25% off that price on the screen if you're platinum member. Comes down to just over £40, £40.42 or $53.89. And let's show you everything that you get for your money, because it is phenomenal. Of course, with the demo that we've just seen, the craft along that we've just done, only using a few aspects of this particular collection, because with this as well, you're going to get your Pretty Plumage stamp collection. Absolutely gorgeous. I love that Proud Peacock. Love the little feathers that you've got in there as well, and that beautiful corner feather stamp too. You've also got more of those sentiments to go with that as well. Next up, again, talk about gorgeous dies. This gorgeous Proud Peacock. Look at the detailing in the train of feathers on that peacock. Absolutely stunning as a focal point for your card. These are the stamps that you're going to get. Saw a few of these within Craig's demo, but you've got the ability to use these outside of this collection, of course, as well. If you're just looking for a nice sentiment, then you've got it there, the ability to be able to build up your own sentence and sentiment with those stamps. Here's the Build a Peacock, which I think is great. The Proud as a Peacock stamp and die set. As you can see, you've got all of the dies to match up with the stamps that you've got. Get your colours into there and create yourself your own beautiful peacock, and then you can build up the layers as you go. I mean, this frame, don't really need to say too much about that, really, do I? I mean, it's absolutely magnificent, the flourishing frame die, which will work perfectly with this collection, or I'm sure with any other items that you've got home in your crafty stash. That is stunning. Next up, these feathers, the peacock plumage dies. Again, how often do you see feather dies? We see a lot of florals, see a lot of butterflies, not too many feathers, and certainly not too many as gorgeous as this. Love that collection. There's 4 beautiful dies. Here's the corner die that you saw in the last make in the craft along with Craig. So that is your feathered corner die, which is included. You're getting the idea here, what a great deal this is. This is the other piece that Craig used within the craft along, the plumage panel embossing folder. So that one you will need if you want to be able to recreate the demo. So much detail, and again, you saw just how easy it was to emboss with that folder, and you get such a beautiful emboss each and every time. And then on top of that, your 3D embossing folder. This for me, is that my favourite? I don't know. I think it might be. It is your Regal Peacock. That is included, the 3D embossing folder. That is a massive collection. 50 elements, should be nearly £83, over $110, $53.89 or $71.85, less your 25% if you're platinum. That is a phenomenal buy. Grab that today. If the budget doesn't stretch, of course, you can go for things individually should you want to, but go for that collection today if you can get it. And also worth whacking into your basket. Can I take this? I don't want to. Oh, you can. Okay, there you go. I won't move it then because Charlotte's quick on the draw there. There you go. Perfect shot, and then I just wreck it. Here we go. Look at this. I'll just wave a hand in front. Look at that. Ooh. Now, what you're going to get with this, the perfect colours to go with your Peacock collection. So you've got this gorgeous, gorgeous glitter cardstock. What did you just call me? You've also got, within this collection, right, let's get this right. You've got your royal blue glitter card, and then you've got Centura pearls, so 10 sheets of each. You've got your fuchsia, you've got your chartreuse, and you've got your Pacific too. So 10 sheets of each, that's 40 sheets in total. That is £9 for that full collection, 40 sheets to go with your Peacock collection. And as we were saying, the deal on this is cheaper than the multi-buy that you can get on the website. And that's been specifically shopped for you, if you like. So you've got the Peacock collection. If you're looking for cardstock, which works, that needs to go in your basket for £9. Are you kidding me? That is a what kind of price. So you need to go for that. And then also worth mentioning deal-wise, gilding waxes we've got on the show for you too. We've got these on unbelievable deals. So you've seen Craig use a lot of these during the show. They're $8.99 currently. They're normally $11.99 or $16.99. So $8.99 or $12.74. Don't forget another 25% off these if you are a platinum. £6.74 or, let's just quickly work this out, $9.56. Now is the time to stock up. And if you haven't yet got your gilding wax, get it now. You've seen actually how little Craig uses when he was just showing you applying this with the finger to the embossed cardstock. Hardly any. These will last you a long, long time. So there's the silver. We've then also got within the collection, let's have a look. I get these confused. This one here is the Renaissance. So again, low price on these today, $8.99, $12.74. It's 30 mil, isn't it, that you get in these? So as I say, it does last a long, long time. The one that Craig was using in his demo is this one here, which is your Empire. So again, if you want to be able to totally recreate the demo, kind of exactly the same, this is the one that you want to go for. Again, $8.99 and $12.74. And then we've also got the antique. It's good that we've got these actually, because these were out of stock very recently, and it's nice to know that we've got the 4 colours back in stock. Grab them whilst you can, especially at that price, $8.99 or $12.74. Already saving 25%, plus another 25% if you're platinum, because it is our Take It to the Next Level event. Right. Lovely comments coming in. Mariah just saying, phew, I did it. Mariah, send in your picture. We want to see it, please. Oh, in fact, we've seen it. Finish the card and send the photos. Great job, Craig. Beautiful cards, ladies. That's referring to, obviously, Susan and Gail. Love their company. It was brilliant. I'd like a craft along with the nautical collection, says Evelyn. Duly noted. Best show ever, says Anne-Marie McGurk. Whew, that's very kind. brilliant. Thank you for that. Maria's saying the show and speed has helped me so much. Was having problems with my mats and layers, so thank you. Well, that's great, Maria. Again, if we've helped you along the way with this show, brilliant. I love this craft along, says Beverly on Facebook, as well as the other shows. This is a dream come true for me, and with such kind, funny group of crafters, it makes it even better. Gloria Nolly on Facebook says, hey, Craig and Ben, I missed most of the video, but I have the Peacock collection. I'll definitely be looking at the replay to do the great craft along. So sad I missed out. I know anything Craig did is great, but Gloria, the great thing is you haven't missed out because you can just come back and watch this whenever you want to watch it. That's the point. And Marisol on YouTube is saying, love the show and the cards. Thank you guys for your precious time. Well, it was an absolute pleasure. We're going to come back and chat some more. Now, we're going to have a look. I didn't realise we were doing this, but we're going to have a look at a little video which the boss has asked. We're doing requests now. Basically, this is something that I did for Craig on his wake-up call. I had a couple of spare hours in the week, did it, sent it to our guys in production. They were like, we love this. We love this. So they put a little video together. And well, this is it. This is the sea shanty called The Crafty Man, all about that bloke over there.
There once was a man who was very crafty. His name was Craig from Carnoustie. He joined the team on Crafters TV. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. He wanted to prove he was the man, but he lost craft was too lenient. But 2 weeks later he began crafty Scottish man. Soon may the crafty man come to bring the best demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. He did so well after TV, sour sent him off to Germany when he did some work for BC. Oh, crafty Scottish craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring the best and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. His crafting skills, they are top and taxes. They're totally mad. That's laid down to his favorite pads. Oh, crafty Scottish craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring the best and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. The crafters, they love him a lot, charm and skill. They white quality, nicknamed him the hardy Scotty. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us down and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is might do a Facebook Live. In the crafting world he's standing tall. He's the best Scottish crafter of them all. Catch him Monday to Friday on his wake-up call. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live.
There we go. Mariah just saying, OMG, love this song, Ben. Basically what it is, I haven't written this. This is a sea shanty which they've just re-earthed, which has gone viral. So it's my take on that. We'll play it again later on. But yeah, you like it, didn't you?
I love it. I love it. You know when you see past videos of people and they go, check out my hairstyle, check out the fake tan I was using.
Well,
you see all these different bits. It's like I've been tangoed. I love it. I was absolutely gobsmacked. If you've not seen the actual show, go back later on and watch Wake Up Call. Towards the end, just before the game, where Ben, and Laura, it was producer Laura and Adam in the gallery that day, and you surprised me this morning with that one. I was just, yeah.
What I love most about it is watching back all of the clips, because a lot of the clips of you in there were shows that we did together, like the one with you in your with your Hawaiian shirt on.
That's right.
From holiday and stuff. I just like you think, oh yeah, I remember that show. Oh yeah, can you remember when you did that?
Yeah.
When was the one when you'd written the note, the Stroppy Scotty?
So that was obviously myself and Joe. That was a craft vault.
Yeah.
I can't remember why you said I was being stroppy, but what I've done is I think it was because I didn't win a card or something like that. Yeah. So I pretended I stormed off, and then coming back and pretend I was on the phone to Sarah, and because everyone was joking about that our dressing room, our green room, is my room, which it's not. Everyone keeps saying there's a star on the door and that, which there's not. So we had a bit of a laugh and a joke saying to Sarah that, my M&Ms weren't there and I didn't have the red ones picked out and joking things like that. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, there you go. Thank you for the lovely comments coming in. It's all a bit of fun, isn't it? All a nice bit of content. Love the song. This is great. Such talent. Ben, are all those voices yours? Yes, they were all mine. I think there were about four. I think there were about 4 of them, and I don't know if the guys added more sound effects and stuff. But anyway, let's move on and let's squeeze in another little demo on this Nature's Garden Peacock collection. This is this is a great price, but this is a fab collection. You right over there? Yep. This is a fab collection. Is this one of your faves? I think this is one of my all-time faves.
Mine too. Certainly colour-wise, absolutely adore the colours within that full collection here. Obviously, if you were to incorporate the original paper pads that come with it.
Yeah.
But I thought what we'll do is we've still got time, so let's do another demo. Don't worry, you don't have to craft along to this bit, but just to let you know as well, obviously some of the craft alongs won't take the full 2 hours, so in that case, we've got a backup and we will go back and we'll do another demo. So that's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is I've brought in this is our larger Centura Pearl, and it is 11 inches by 13 inches, and I've scored it 2.5 inches all the way round. That's going to create the base of a box.
Yeah.
Then what we're going to do, Ben, we're going to do a little bit of inking, but we're going to use the frame. So we're going to use the flourishing frame that we can see here, and we're also going to use the pretty plumage of the peacock, but we're going to use the full peacock here. And what I'm just going to do, just to get started, let's bring in a piece of, he says, he's obviously put it away, white smooth stamping card, which I've got here. And then all that I'm going to do is I've brought some water reactive. So I've gone for lemon tonic, parakeet, shock horror, orange, and
fuchsia.
We've got fuchsia.
Yes!
So all I'm going to do is just do a blending of a bit of a background, nothing specific, but we'll get some colour on the back.
All right, 53.89. Don't forget, as I said, best ever price on this, and our what's it called? Take it to the next level. Taste to the next level. What does that remind? It reminds me of a song.
Next level.
Take it to the next level or something. Is it?
Take me to the clouds.
What?
No, take me to the clouds.
Take me to the clouds. That's you too, isn't it?
That reminds me of my turning 18 and being in the discos.
You were 18 when that came out.
Round about then, yeah, because I looked, I don't condone, like, obviously underage going to nightclubs or that.
No, neither do
I looked so young for my age that, I never even got into pubs or that, before I was 18. Actually, to be honest, even when I was like 18, 19, 20, 21, I was still getting ID'd.
Yeah. You look, to be fair, you do look young for your age. He's 55, can you believe?
I am. See, it's because I love my life and I love my job that I just feel so young and I look so young.
He's like the Peter Pan of crafting, isn't he?
That's exactly what I'm like.
Hey?
And you're my Tinkerbell.
Hey, and I'm your Tinkerbell, did you say?
Yeah.
I love that. Not sure I'd look very good in a little, did she wear a tutu?
Fairy dust.
Oh, like a fairy costume.
Tell craft along's finished, eh?
Yeah, here we go. We were professional for about 90 minutes, and now we're back to the usual standard that you've come to expect from me and Craig. Best behaviour this afternoon though, because Sarah's in. The boss is in this afternoon on Colour Me Happy from 4 o'clock. So yeah.
I know. I still need to get the scissors back from her.
Huh?
Did you hear about that in masterclass yesterday?
No.
She came in while I was live and nicked my scissors.
Did she?
Yeah. Just as well I had a spare set, but yeah, she came in. So if you see me just appearing during Colour Me Happy to nick my scissors back, I might do that actually.
Please come in sort of like commando crawl in, and when she's looking the other way, nick something that she's using in her demo.
I might just do it, nick her pens that she's ready to use or something, yeah.
Just take all of the tri-blends
Take it all.
out. Yeah.
Take the whole lot. Say, well, that's what you get. Might do. We'll wait and see.
I bet he doesn't. He wants to come back to work next week.
If it was Debbie or Jan, or I wouldn't do it to Fiona either. No, I wouldn't do it to Fiona. No, not to Fiona. I wouldn't. No. Any of the other ones I maybe would do. Yeah, I'm not doing it with Sarah either. No. Maybe. You never know. Here we go. So we've done nothing specific. We've just used the 4 colours, got them onto the backdrop. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the pretty plumage. So this is our stamp set, but within this one here, you've got a nice array of different stamps. You've got this little quarter corner here at the 90-degree angle. Repeat that, that will create a really nice circle, maybe a half circle, but you've got obviously the feathers, you've got some sentiments as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the peacock on its own. And although, Ben, I'm not going to use any additional colour, what I'm going to do is, will I fit it that way? I'll tell you what, be safe, let's pop it that way. What I'm still going to use is I'm still going to use my waterproof ink pad.
Okay.
Although I'm not going to come on with any aqua pens or anything like that, just because it's a water-based ink pad that I've used to colour, I'm going to use my waterproof ink for this one. And it's a flagstone, if you're wanting to know, just a slightly lighter shade of black. And we're going to stamp.
Love the colours. Do you know what I love? I'm going to be doing some crafting this week, this weekend, next week when I get back. But I love the fact, you know, just getting those different inks out, getting your daubers, your ink applicators. I love the fact that it's not, you know, when you're making a background, it's not exactly a precise craft, is it really?
Not at all. Not at all. It's that freedom to just, you know, relax and just let your colours come out. The way that they blend out, you can see how well that the colours work depending on the shades. But as you can see here, creating our own backdrop, but stamping on the top, keeping it black or flagstone, but it gives you that black, deep black look. Then what we can do is sit that to the side for the time being. I'm going to bring in a piece of Centura Pearl, and I've got this one to 5.5 inches by 7.5 inches, and I've also done another one in black, exactly the same. Just say this isn't one of the shades within the pack, although that Pacific is close to it.
Yeah.
It is close. This is a turquoise one.
But it's not specifically Pacific,
Not
is it?
specifically specific, but it is Pacific. Pacific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not specifically Pacific.
No, it's not
is it?
specifically for
no.
the specific.
No.
So we can then bring in the dye, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to tap that excess because someone during Wake Up Call was using it and then didn't clean it.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
So bringing this one in now. What I'm going to do is this has got no cutting edge, Ben. So what that means is no matter what size of cardstock you use, the image or the actual design is going to cut into the card.
Yeah.
You do get an outside die, but we're going to use that separately in a moment.
Okay.
So what we can do is we can pop this through our Gemini. So I'm going to layer that one up. Let's bring in a bit of low tack tape, and I'm going to secure this. And what I'm going to do here is the centre part that cuts out, we're not going to be using that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my tape in, only because our low tack tape, you know, it is low tack, but sometimes with the pressure of the Gemini, what happens is sometimes that the tape can just catch your cardstock. So therefore, if you stick the die into an area of waste, it just means if it's going to tear, it's not going to affect the actual finished product because it's stuck to the waste.
Yeah.
But then, if I bring this one out, so we can take this one away. So we don't need that one, although we would be able to use that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can see. Taking this one out the way, and we've got all of this design here. So we're going to pop this one out just quickly. We've got these little bits.
Lots of love coming in for this frame die, by the way. If you, a few of you saying, "Oh, need to get that," you can go for the individuals if you want. The frame die is the flourishing frame. The old details there coming up for you. $19.99 if you want to go for that, or $24.95. And whilst that is a gorgeous frame, right, really gorgeous and worth every single penny of that, you can see when you look at the cost of that why the collection is such a great buy. When you consider you get all of that and the frame in there for just over £50. So again, if you just want to go for that individually, you can, and all the other elements of the collection are available individually. But if you want to go for the full collection, you're buying it at the best ever time because it's the best ever price we've done it for, and you're getting the taste of the next level as well. Platinum members are getting another 25% off the price, which takes it down to £40.42 or $53.89. So it's a really great time to get this in your in your crafty stash. And as we've said, my voice then. Oh, my voice is just broken. And as we've said, you've got that craft along. 80 minutes of a craft along with Craig thrown in for free. So it's definitely worth it because you're not stuck now as well. If you're a new crafter and you're going, oh, I quite like that collection, but I don't know what to do with it. Well, you do. You've got a project straight off the bat with Craig, which you can watch on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you choose. So definitely worth going for today. Right, have you put the outside frame on there now?
I am. I'm doing it a bit different this time.
Okay.
So I've got a bit of black cardstock, which is the same size as the turquoise, 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches. I'm using this inner frame now. What this is actually going to create is going to create a black frame that we actually want. So instead of using it to create a layer, it's actually going to create a frame this time. So think about your different dies that you've got that outer side die, how you can then start to create frames with it. And if you're not sure how it's going to look, we'll show you just in a second how it will look. So if we take these ones away, and this inner part here, this is the bit that I'm not actually needing just now. So we can take that away, and we need this bit here, which gives us our black frame. Popping this one out of the way. Then what I'm going to do is let's bring in our dotty tape runner. You could use the straight if you want to, but because the frame is narrow, what we've got is the ability of using the dotty. And because the cardstocks are exactly the same size, what it does is it creates that outer frame that we can then pop over the top to frame it.
Yeah.
I'm going to lift that one up, and it is slightly delicate because there's not a lot of give within the middle of the black frame. But work your way around, and then we've framed our frame. You can see how lovely that looks. Then what we can do once again, let's go round with our tape runner. We could go all over the back. I'm only going to pop it round the sides. Let's frame our peacock that we can see here. Then what we can do is I'm going to press that into place. We're going to work our way around. Then what we can do is very, very quickly, we're going to bring in another bit of turquoise. It is 8 inches by 10 inches. And then what we can do is very, 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 very quickly. This has probably, Ben, got to be one of the quickest shows I think I've ever done so far.
It's flown by. As
Absolutely.
I say, it really threw me because we were doing the craft along and we were going at like a slower pace that we normally would. It really threw me that took. It's fine. It took an hour and a half, but the fact that we got to the end of that and it was like an hour and a half gone. This time just absolutely flown by. It goes quickly in here anyway, but it feels like I've just arrived and we've been on nearly done the 2 hours. Nearly done the 2 hours. By the way, lots of love for that background, particularly Desert Dweller saying beautiful background. Craig makes it look so easy. I think, and this isn't taking anything away from Craig, I think as long as you know the colours that Craig used there, it's quite a simple thing what you did, wasn't it? To create the background. He's ignoring me.
Sorry, Ben.
It's quite simple what you did with the background, isn't it?
It really, really is.
Yeah.
You'll have seen how I done it with the colours, keeping a lot of lighter colours for the backdrop and not doing anything specific. We've just got that colour down with the blending tool, but we can see we've created the box, but we've created the frame as well.
That's brilliant.
Background of the colour, our own backdrop that we've created ourselves, peacock within the middle, framed it nicely, and we've even used the outer frame of the flourishing frame as an accent. It will be here, so we can see here. So we'll see it in a minute. So we pop it in. There we go.
Beautiful.
If you want to add gems or a ribbon or that, you can do, but it just goes to show how you can use those two selections, the stamp and the die, all together.
Just remind us again, so the colours that you used were lemon tonic, fuchsia, parakeet, and was there one more?
There was. So there was orange as well.
Orange.
Lemon tonic, fuchsia, parakeet and orange, as we say.
We have got actually a good deal on the quick dries if you want to go for these. These again have kind of been specifically put together for this collection. So within the collection you have got your grasshopper, you've got your orange, so basically all of the colours in here that Craig's just used, I think, pretty much. You've got your fuchsia, yeah they are, you've got your lemon tonic, You've got your crushed velvet, and then you've got your ocean blue as well, which I suppose you could use in place of the parakeet. So all of those, again, look at that deal. All 6 of those for $23.50 or $33, saving 20%. And then, of course, with this being your Taste of the Next Level Platinum members, £17.63 or $24.75. Really great value for money and a great day to stock up on those as well. So yeah, if budget stretches, your Peacock collection with your cardstock, with your quick dry inks, which have been selected just for this, I just think is absolutely brilliant. Lots of lovely comments still coming in. About the frame die particularly, and saying, "Oh, that frame die, I might need this." Absolutely, yeah, you should go for it. It's beautiful. Eve just saying that frame is wonderful, and lots of you have been sending in your pictures as well. Mrs. Alabama just saying, "Does that cardstock colour have a name? I've been looking for the perfect colour to use for my stamp and dies storage inserts." I think that's relating to the last card you made there. What was that blue colour called that you used?
For the box?
Yeah, for the box rather, yeah.
It would have been our turquoise Centura Peril.
There you go. Hopefully that is helpful. Right, the craft along. What a great show, but we just wanted to show some of the cards that you have been crafting.
Wow.
Look at all of these. What do you reckon to those, Craig?
That is fun. That's actually given me goosebumps seeing all of them. How great. How is it? Some of them have gone exactly as what I've done. Some of you have taken a different twist. Maybe it's the colour. Maybe it's the matte and layer. Just absolutely love it. I love them. Thank you so much. And I hope if anyone that's not taken part, maybe it's given you a bit of a confidence. Now you know what to expect. Either join in at home or join in as well. Skype in.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we'll be looking for more people to take part in the craft along. So, like Susan and like Gail who joined us, we will be looking for more people to join on the craft along. So, get in touch. Let us know if you want to be featured. I've just thought as well, as we come towards the end of the show, we need to take one of your cards and pop it onto our Crafty Walk of Fame. So we've got to take the Craft Along card, haven't we? That's got to go up there. I think.
We've got to.
Yeah.
We've got
it's got to be the demo of the show because it was the show, wasn't it?
I think so. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So that one will go up on our Crafty Walk of Fame, and we will recap on that again on Second Chance Sunday, and you'll get the chance to vote for your demo of the week. So Craig, let's just quickly tell everyone about the next craft along, because this is coming around pretty quickly, isn't it? It
is indeed. So we've come. It's come around really quickly. So keep your eyes peeled. Later on today / into tomorrow. The next one is on Monday. It is with myself, and I believe we've got Joe. You're not in Monday, are you? So it's myself and Joe, and it's all about Sarah's signature Caring Thoughts. So a relatively recent launch, one of our recent launches, the recent Sarah's signature launch, exactly the same as today. You'll be able to follow along. We'll give you a list of instructions, and the idea is what I'm going to create with you. If you've not got it, we'll even give you the ability to then purchase in the show as well.
It's going to be great. And the other thing is, as I said, and we've mentioned this through the show, if there's anything that you want to see on a future craft along, a particular collection, then let us know. And obviously, when these craft alongs happen, we'll try and build those in. And a few people just saying as well, it'd be nice to have kind of like different levels of craft along as well. And I absolutely think that is something that we can do, do more sort of beginner craft alongs, and then maybe more, craft alongs for more experienced crafters. I just think it's something which is going to grow and grow. And after the response that you've given us today, I think it's going to be one of your favourite shows too. Let's just recap on a few other goodies on this show. Now, this is the Crafter's Companion Get It Deal of the Week, because if you get it, you got it, and that's good. Is that right, Johnny? Smashed it. So this is the adhesive collection, right? So within this, you're going to get your all-purpose glue. You're going to get your glue tape pen, you're going to get your dotty pen, you're also going to get your 3D foam pad kit, the small foam pads, and you're getting your red liner double-sided tape included as well. That's a really comprehensive kit as far as your glues and adhesives are concerned. Let's just say you'll never get stuck. You'll never get stuck. It's £23 or $39. That deal runs until the end of the week, does it? Okay, so yeah, get your hands on that. Nice and quickly, and of course that does work. Even though you're saving 20%, it does still work with your Taste of the Next Level at $17.25 or $29.25. So absolutely worth popping into your basket. And then the Nature's Garden Peacock Complete Collection. This is the one you want to go for. Honestly, I say this is one of my favourites. It might be my absolute fave. You're getting it today at a brilliant price. The best price that we've done it for, of course. Don't forget, you're getting the proud peacock die, the flourishing frame that we've just seen, the beautiful peacock plumage die. Then you've got your beautiful stamps in there. You've got embossing folders. There's so much included, as well as the 3D embossing folder and the 6x6 embossing folder. You won't, in this deal, get that glue pen with it though as well. That's an old picture. You'll get everything but the tape pen. But $53.89 or $71.85, and of course, less your 25% comes in even further for you. And the cardstock, again, look at this, £9, or it's another $2.50. Isn't it £6.50? If you're 25% off that today, £6.75 today, or $9.75 with your platinum membership. That comes with your royal blue glitter cardstock. You've then got your chartreuse, you've got your fuchsia, and you've got your Pacific included as well. That is a brilliant deal. 10 sheets of each, 40 sheets for $6.75 if you are a platinum member. Only up until the end of the weekend though, as our Taste of event continues. Wow, what a great show. Love that. Thank you so much to Susan. Thank you so much to Gail. Thank you to everybody who sent in their pictures and crafted along with us as well. And a big thank you to Craig as well. As always, awesome and inspirational. Are you joining me later on?
I am. I've got a couple of hours to work on something else, maybe for Craft Along next week, but I will see you at 7 p.m. later on for me and you in Craft Vault.
I look forward to that. Whatever we've got left on Craft Vault, because we had stuff selling out earlier on and stuff going sort of 50, 60% of the stock gone. So we'll have to have a look, see what we've got. We might be singing sea shanties for the final hour. But in between all of that, Colour Me Happy is on the way with a brilliant deal coming up on the Tri-Blend. Sarah will be here too. And we will see you back here on Crafters TV in an hour's time. Bye for now.
Bye.